Lieutenant Governor Farrow is remembered fondly for her work ethic, her kindness, and her service to the state, and as a mentor and a trailblazer. Now, therefore, let it be resolved by the Senate, the Assembly concurring, that the members of the Wisconsin State Legislature honor the life and public service of Lieutenant Governor Margaret Farrow.
What I'm here to just tell you is not these wonderful thoughts and philosophies and policies that you're hearing from all of these terrific speakers, but instead tell you about a tool that the state of Wisconsin now has that will help everyone to better understand and become involved in the civic process. And that is our new public affairs network in Wisconsin called WisconsinEye. I think the thing I want to do is say that this is happening after about 10 years of effort. There was 10 years ago, a number of us served, and Senator Carpenter and I were the co-chairs of the Ledge Council Committee that created this prototype, this idea, the only one in the country to be not state funded. Ours is totally funded by foundation and nonprofit and all sorts of bipartisan, nonpartisan contributions, both individuals and corporations that are interested, those who want to have the opportunity to see their government at work.
I often say we don't get checks as candidates from people who want us to do something. Often we get the checks from people who support our policies, our philosophy, and say, keep at it because we think you're doing a good job. I think I might have older record on how many checks I returned to entities that I saw it totally inappropriate to have put in my treasury, and always startled people when I did that. But I truly believe that more should perhaps do that.
When the House was split, the houses were split, and Joe Leon and Barb Linton were the co-chairs of Joint Finance, 1993. We started late because of special elections. The budget started late. Everybody said, you'll never be through by July 1st. And here we were, 8 and 8, split right down the middle. Not that wonderful odd number anywhere to determine things, split evenly. And at the end of that session of the budget, we finished on time. There were 100 and I guess about 40 amendments to the original budget. 14 votes came down to party line votes. All the rest were bipartisan. It was a moment of Wisconsin history that I think we're all proud of, and things move forward. The point is, that's what I evolved through. Fast forward to 2010. I had decided who runs for office. I had decided not to after being strongly encouraged to run for the U.S. Senate in 2004. That was after I had left office. Always wondered how I'd get off the stage, and I found out. I always said the ticket lost rather than individual losses. But the point is, I looked at what was happening already in politics and thought, no, 27 years of elective office, I have done it, I hope, ethically. I have done it serving what I felt was important about things, done it with respect for my colleagues on either side of the aisle. But I didn't want to step into the maelstrom that had then become partisan statewide elections. By then I had grandchildren. By then John and I had many friends who knew us, but I didn't know if they'd know me at the end of the session of the end of a campaign period. Because I knew what tricks are pulled. I knew what you go through. And at that point in my life, I wasn't ready to do it. Am I saying no one else should? No. I'm saying just have a little more, fight left in you than I felt I had at that point. To be on the front line. I'm still on the back line. Don't think I'm not there. But not to be on the front line. And the point I'm trying to make, I guess, with this kind of personal anecdote is people who are willing to run for office should be sought out. If you see quality people. People who are willing to run for office should be supported.
When I was first asked to run, having absolutely no knowledge of what it takes to run for elected office, I said yes to it, and then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks later, they said, oh, by the way, you got to raise money. And I went, what? And so the first keynote speaker at one of my fundraisers was former Lieutenant Governor Margaret Farrow. She has a home in Minocqua, And when they asked her to do it, she's like, well, I don't even know this person. Well, she came down to Tomahawk and had lunch with me and spent 3 hours with me, educating me on the process, what to do, what not to do. I consider her a friend and a mentor, and over the years, she was such a positive influence. I remember giving her a call once in a while and go, what? You know, and she would walk me through everything and kind of bring me up to speed on things, and just a really great lady, very much a class act. She broke a lot of glass ceilings for women in this body, and it is an honor and a privilege to vote yes on her today. Thank you, Mr. President.